Okay, this video is about filling in title and appearance pages. I noticed in the lessons that students seem to be kind of confused by this, so I decided to do a video so it will hopefully clarify. We're going to pretend this is the job sheet that we got from the reporter. Now you want to watch your venue because if it's federal court or family court or anything, it will be different and the format will probably be slightly different also. In this case, it's State of Ohio, Court of Common Pleas, Cuyahoga County. So we're going to check that. Okay, that's all right. Now when we get down here to the caption, you'll notice some words are in all caps. Some words are in initial caps. Smart reporters set up their titles like this so that as you're filling it in, you know how to do it. So we want the plaintiff in all caps. And normally I would print out the job sheet so that I have it just to look at instead of having to flip back and forth, but I want you to see what I'm doing. So this should be James J. Carney et al. Now you'll see that I put in a scan mark here with my S because I want to make sure if it's plural that I fix it and that I carry it throughout the job so it's consistent. Okay, et al. Means and others, so it's going to be plaintiffs plural. I just hit a 1 and it will convert the S into text. Now I go to the defendant, Albert Caruso et al., all caps. Same thing, it's et al., so we are going to pick the S to make it plural. Now you'll notice I've already filled in the case number. I wanted to type all this stuff in front of you guys, but I kept getting my fingers screwed up and my words screwed up, and I've probably recorded this nearly 20 times, so I'm going to have some things already filled in. We would go over here and look at the case number. There it is. Type it in exactly the same way, the CV cap. Now this reporter used to like the judge's name on the transcript, but if we look at this job sheet, we'll notice the judge's name is not there. And that was common with him, as he would forget to put that down. So I would just leave the scan mark, and I always tell my reporters the first thing you should do when you get a file back from me is hit F8, go through the entire file, and you'll see all the questions I've marked for you to fix. Now we get down here, you'll notice the witness name is in all caps WNS. The reason for this is that when it comes up this way, it should be in all caps. So we're going to E-global it as John A. Carney, and you can see I already have that filled in. Entire file, case sensitive. We don't want it always to be like that. And okay. Now you'll see it filled in, both of them, and it will fill it in on the certificate page and anywhere else it appears. Okay, the date. Monday, October 12. This is all caps, so it should be all caps. Okay, let's see what I mean by my fingers getting tied in knots. Okay, normally this would be another fill-in, plaintiff defendant, just like it was above, with the S, to remind me to put the S in. So I've already filled that in. Called by the defendants. Now you want to check your rules. If it's a federal case, you need to change this to the federal rules of civil procedure. In this case, it's an Ohio case, so we will leave it Ohio rules. And your reporters should tell you what they want you to do with that. The reporter's name and certification is already filled in because she sent you these pages and probably already has that part filled in on them. Okay, then we come down to where is the job taken? Taken at Salinger. So we look down here, and here's Salinger. So I've already filled this in, and it was not in all caps, so I don't put it in all caps either. You want to really watch for that. It's one of the big things people miss. And then the time, it was at 9:30. I've already filled that in. So that takes care of the title page. Now we come down to the appearances, and I left this in so that you can see that I put that everywhere to make sure that it's correct. Or I could e-global it, since on this job it's going to be plural all the way through. It doesn't make a difference as long as it's consistent. Okay, now this would have said plaintiff attorney in initial caps. This would have said firm in all caps, so that I know I've got to do them exactly that way. Then I have filled in the address, the phone number, and the emails, which this reporter always wants if I can find them. There again, if I can't find the email address, I'll just put a scan mark there, and he can call and get it from the attorneys. So that's all filled out correctly. If you look back at the worksheet. And then our also presents are James and Regina. Now when you're all through, you want to go back to the top and proofread everything. So we know the caption's okay. We want to check the witness. James J. Carney et al. Plaintiffs versus Albert Caruso et al. Defendants. Case number 81CV 859770. We don't have the judge's name. Witness's name all caps. Day, date. Called by the defendants. So that's right. Ohio rules. The reporter's name and certificate. Where it's taken. And this might be a doctor's office. It might be the court reporter's office. It could be, numerous places. So just be sure you have the correct, if it's Dr. So-and-so's office or Cleveland Clinic's office or whatever, you want to have the right thing in there, plus the proper address. And we have that all right. Because it's all right here. And it started at 9:30. So that's right. We have the plaintiffs, Heather S. Heidelberg, Lurch Dishman, and Laurel. And the address, 525 William Penn Place, 28th floor, Pittsburgh, 52195, 416-668, 8665, H. Heidelberg, H. Heidelberg at lurchdishman.com. So that's right. Okay. Defendants, William Meadows, Michael Palagarli, Salinger and Salinger LPA, 1600 Midland Building, 101 Prospect Avenue, West Cleveland, 44115, 426-687, 1511, W. Meadows at salinger.com. And our also presents, James and Regina Carney, Now I made up a little list here of things you want to be especially aware of. These are things that are usually missed on the test. All caps, actually I'm going to put that in there, all caps patent pick, and now you see why I don't type it. Or initial caps. That's a biggie. Make sure you follow the design of the template. The alignment of the text and punctuation. Now in this one, it's kind of cool because the reporter has his parens in their own column so they can't move. On a lot of title pages, if this line comes out to here, it will throw the parenthesis down and you'll have to move it and then make sure that they are all lined up. That's also another one that a lot of people miss. That has to be lined up. On some title pages, they'll have, oh gosh, what's the other ones? Anyway, they'll have other things aligned. And if they're lined up on the title page, make sure they're lined up when you do them. You may have to jockey them around a little bit to get them right. Okay, use complete titles of the parties. In this one, it was just plaintiff and defendant. It can be plaintiff counter defendant. It can be respondent. It can be many different things. Whatever the title is, it's not just the plaintiff. If it's the defendant counter plaintiff, it has to be the whole title. Make sure you watch your spellings for consistency. You can spell check and make sure you put the funny spellings like people's names in your checklist so that it will catch them. Then also check and make sure whether it's state or federal rules. Now you can print or copy this sheet and keep it. If you have any questions, please get back to me. If there's something I can add to make it easier for you, I'd like to know that too. Good luck with your title pages. Thanks.